There's the round of applause from the crowd. They were as quiet to the point where you could have heard a pin drop on grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know that they've seen something abnormal there. Well, how about that, eh? So get ready for the flares. And here's the corkscrew. But so far, we've just seen little flares.
Little flares, because I see on our display sequence here that we have in our notes, you have in all capital letters, big flares.
Yes. Big flares coming up.
I like big flares.
I like big flares, and this is really our first experience during this show of big flares. The helicopter diving down, it's going to pitch up into an on-crowd bunt, and here come the big flares. I think they qualify as big flares worthy of all capital letters.
I agree with that.
Lovely on-crowd loaded roll, creating a spiral pattern of flares in the sky there. And you can hear perhaps a cacophony of car alarms going off in the background. Well, it wouldn't be an air show if that didn't happen at some point. So we're approaching the low-speed, high-alpha pass. A little bit of burner on the way in. We saw that during the Thursday practice show, actually, as well. And then after this pass, we'll be seeing the aircraft going into a muscle climb, and at the start of the climb, quite a big release of flares, probably the biggest single flare release of the performance. But now we see the pyro has started firing from no fewer than 5 firing stations on the aircraft: the wingtips, the trailing edge and the tail. And there go the Roman candles as we enter the final phase of this display with a loop and then at least one avalanche.
with a series of rolls inbound from the B-axis, Adam, directly in front of us. Here comes the TS-11 Iskra.
This fascinating aircraft developed in the 50s in response to a Polish Air Force requirement for a jet-powered trainer. In fact, this was the first jet-powered aeroplane to be designed in Poland, designed and built by PZL Milik, and the first prototype flew in 1960.
More than 400 of them built to date, and one of those, in 1976, became the first home-built aircraft to complete a full circumnavigation of the world.
Yeah, powered by 180 horsepower Lycoming 0360 in this case, which gives it a very reasonable cruise speed of 160 knots. And it's got a normal range of 470 nautical miles, but that can be extended to over 900 miles with the installation of optional ferry tanks, and I'm sure that would have been necessary for that circumnavigation. By 2013 he was hooked on this sport. He started competing at the National Paragliding Championships and later joined the national team. He flew with them from 2013 to 2019, during which time Poland won the World Championships twice. Nowadays he's a coach for the Qatari national team. He's also a world record holder, the first person to perform a paragliding display inside a closed structure, and that was in the National Stadium in Warsaw. Won't get sight of it until it's almost on top of us because of the stage behind us. But here it comes, the C-130E for a flare dump. Expectations met?
Met, 100%. 12 out of 10. Oh, that was so cool.
It's not bad, is it? So much like with the Bow 105, we're going to cycle through several different types of pyro. Waterfalls at the moment are like gerbs, except they burn hot and they produce a longer, thicker tail, and that's why the aircraft is a little bit higher than the Bow 105 was, to avoid that hot dross from falling onto the grass, although I suspect there's not much fire risk after the rain that we've been having. And now some Roman candles. Some
Roman candles and perhaps some comets worked in there too,
yes.
Some willowing variations of those.
Crackle comets we have here in Europe, which is my favourite type of pyro to fire from an aircraft. Get ready, I think, for the horn. And why not?
Why not?
Sometimes the only answer to the question of why needs to be why not.
Why not? It is kind of amusing to put yourself in the eyes of perhaps a truck driver out there on the highway, wondering what in the world is that?
And they're creating the logo of the Antidotum Airshow,
They
the
are.
letter A. I'm charmed already.
I was just thinking how many more of these that we'll need in order to actually write Antidotum in the sky.
What you're really wondering is how many it would take to spell T-O-T-H for
That's
Thunder
right,
Over
that's
the
right,
Heartland.
Thunder Over the Heartland. Oh, so I have so many ideas that we hope to implement for our show in the future.
Colin has a sort of catchphrase during the jet pits display where he points at the pits and says, "That noise shouldn't be coming out of that aircraft." Those effects should be
not
coming out of those aircraft.
aircraft, yeah. Now, what we're seeing now on the stream, that is in no way any sort of overexposure. That is very much what it looks like to us.
Yeah, very similar, looking down at the screen and up with the naked eye. The lighting levels, the colours, they're all the same. And now the ground pyro kicks in as well. And I think we're now coming into the aerobatic portion of the display, yes. Lasers, lights and pyro all going simultaneously as Jacob dives in towards us and then pulls up into a loop. If you ever get the chance to see this aircraft on the ground, then do get a close-up look at the wingtips. They have huge metal plates fitted that can carry no fewer than 60 pyrotechnic effects. How about that, Luke?
Outstanding.
The commentary position shook during that
It sure did.
final burst of pyro. And
That's
once again, look at the audience response. Tens of thousands of phone torches. It's visible on the drone camera there.
Wow, look at that.
That's extraordinary. Well, we'll leave you with a few parting shots of the ever-darkening scene here at Leszno. Almost no light left in the sky, and I hope that you enjoyed that just as much as we did. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us over the last few days. And from all of us here at the Plains TV team, have a very good evening and goodbye for now.